Welcome to the Commercial PIC Podcast, the show that helps you take command of your pilot career. My name is Seth and I'm your host for this show. This is going to be a weekly series about commercial pilots in aviation. This episode is called Life's Crazy Obstacles and 10,000 Pilots Like You. This is going to be a two-part series. This is part one of a two-part episode where I'm going to be catching you up on what I've been doing in the commercial aviation world. And for this episode, I'm going to talk about the last couple years. And for the next episode that's coming out, I'm going to talk about something that happened this week where I actually broke part of my body and have to put a pause on flying. We'll get into that next week. And this episode is sponsored by audible.com. I'm going to recommend a pilot book for you guys to download for free to listen to. So stay tuned for those details later in the episode. I just wanted to welcome you in to the podcast if you're driving or you're taking a break from studying or if you're sitting at home listening to this. I just want to say I appreciate that you are listening to this and welcome. So let's get right into it. So where have I been for a while? We're going to answer some of these questions. I've been away for a while. As some of you may know, I run the YouTube channel called Commercial Pilot in Command. I've done videos on cargo. I've done videos on banner towing, and now I'm doing a podcast, and I'll get into the details of that here in a little bit. But grab yourself a hot coffee or a drink, and let's get into this. Okay, so again, my name is Seth, and I am a commercial pilot. I've been a commercial pilot since 2017, but I started my pilot career my pilot training in 2014, and I took my first discovery flight in 2011. So I've been doing aviation for quite a long time, and I just keep coming back to it. I love it so much, which is really what this podcast is going to be about. So, okay, if you're like me, no matter what happens in life, you step away for a while, you don't fly for a while, whatever it is, regardless of anything, any obstacles of anything that happens, you're always going to be a pilot inside. And you're always going to carry that with you, and you're always going to be an aviator. This podcast is going to celebrate that, and we're going to talk about a lot of different things, which I'll get into at the end of this podcast, some of the different episodes you guys can expect. Let's get into a little bit of an update about me. Where have I been? Why haven't I made videos in a while? A lot has happened. Let's go back a little bit to 2020. In 2019 and prior to that, I was doing a lot of cargo flying, doing a lot of banner towing, and a lot of stuff was happening, and I was actually pretty dang busy as a commercial pilot, and I was creating videos and stuff. There's a couple videos that I put up on the channel, and one of them's got like 500,000 views, like 500,000 views, which is absolutely insane. And it was about cargo back in Colorado, flying over the Rocky Mountains. It's like life of a cargo pilot. Anyways, in 2019, I was doing that, and then as everybody knows, 2020 hit. And when 2020 hit, we got two things. We got COVID, and we got ADS-B requirements. The ADS-B requirements, no problem. COVID, yeah, that was a different problem. So what really happened, okay? Long story short, I had to take a break, just as a lot of people had to take a break. A lot of aviation shut down, a lot of aviation slowed down, and a lot of pilots, unless you were pretty high up on the totem pole and had thousands and thousands of hours, either you got furloughed or you got cut, or, you had to take care of a family member that was sick, whatever it was. Well, for me, I was just kind of low man on the totem pole, even though I had a lot of hours. So in 2020, I couldn't fly anymore, and I couldn't go back to banner towing because there's nobody on the beaches, right? Everybody's locked down. Nobody's going to stadiums. Nobody's going to football games. Nobody's going to NASCAR races. Crowds are not happening, and that's where banner towing really shines. You're flying around a crowd, advertising, selling beer and selling insurance and whatever. 2020 hits. I've got a commercial pilot's license. I think I had close to 1,200 or so hours then, and nothing. No jobs. Nothing. So what did I do? Okay. Some of you may or may not know, but I have a family, and I had to take care of the family, right? Got to feed the kids, got to feed everybody, dogs, cats, you name it. You got to feed everybody, right? So what I decided to do at the time and was I decided to buy a business, and I was probably the one person in the world that was buying a business in 2020. But I took a lot of money that I had saved up and took that and put it into a business. Well, what business did I get into? Well, I bought a swimming pool business in Orlando, Florida, and I was doing that from 2020 until 2022. Yeah, not flying too much. Mostly just flying for fun and keeping up on my hours, keeping up on my biannual, now it's called just flight review, until you could really kind of get things going again. An opportunity came to me in 2022 that I've been wanting to try out for a really long time. And that opportunity was to fly commercial drones. I've actually interviewed before with companies. I've actually interviewed at the Pentagon for a drone pilot job, and I almost got it. It's not really important, but I did interview, and it was actually pretty exciting. And I've always kind of had this in the back of my head. Well, maybe one day I can fly some UAV Predators or something like that. I was in the military for a while, and because of that time, it kind of put that desire into me. So in 2022, I decided to sell my pool business because I wanted to get back into aviation. And in 2022, I accepted a job flying commercial drones. And so it's 2023. I'm still flying commercial drones, and it's actually pretty awesome. I'm going to be honest with you. So what have I been doing for the last 6 months? Well, mostly I've been doing that, but also I wanted to let you guys know the reason why I haven't uploaded videos is because I just recently had a son, and he was born 3 months early. And so there's a lot of details and a lot of stuff to tell about this, but I won't get into all that. But just know that I have been in and out of the hospital more times than I can count. And it's just been a long, long process to kind of take care of him and have what he needs. And I have had zero time. Trust me, zero time to make any content on social media. So that's why I have not been making videos. But I think I've gotten to a point now where I've figured everything out, balanced everything out. I can still go to work and fly commercial drones, and I can go to the hospital and all that good stuff. And then once a week, I can put up a 30-minute podcast. So that's what I'm doing. That's what this podcast is going to be. I'm going to do my absolute best to have it to you guys once a week. I know I've been terrible at consistency, and I do apologize for that. But I thank you guys for actually listening to this and who have stuck around. Life has been insanely crazy for me, and with 2020 happening and with baby being born early, it's just been absolutely insane. Plus I have 2 other kids, so I've got 3 kids now. My hands are full. But I'm hoping I can get back to videos at some point. Eventually I might have to hire somebody to do that, but we'll see how that goes. So anyways, that's the first little bit of the podcast. I wanted to update you guys on what's going on with me, what's going on with this channel. Big news. We are about to cross 10,000 subscribers on this channel. And I am absolutely blown away by how many people have come to the channel and have subscribed, how many people have watched. It's absolutely insane, some of the metrics. Maybe in an episode or 2 coming up, I'll share some of the more detailed metrics when it comes to how many views and how many people have actually seen and watched the videos that you guys know and hopefully love on this channel, Commercial Pilot in Command. Normally, you guys are used to seeing a video of this kind of content, but for now, I'm going to be doing audio just because of my current condition, which I'll get into more next week. It's extremely difficult to operate a camera right now, so I will definitely give you more details coming forth, and eventually I'll get back on camera and make great videos for you again. So anyways, so let's go on and continue with this podcast. The truth is, I haven't forgotten about you guys. I just have not had time, as I've explained. So what I want to do is I want to commit some more time to you guys, to those pilots out there that are struggling through hours, trying to build hours, and who are trying to build aviation careers. So why am I doing this podcast, and what is this going to be about? Well, the short and simple answer is this is my way of connecting to you guys. It's a way for me to have fun as a commercial pilot, to have some information that I can share with you guys, to be connected to you guys, and to be part of your journey as pilots. And so I really want to create this. If I can't do videos, I at least want to do a podcast so that way I can stay connected to my audience. But I want to tell you that I really appreciate everybody who has been watching this channel and will be listening to this podcast. I'm really excited for some of the ideas that I have for this podcast. And if you guys have any ideas, please drop a comment or send me a message or something to where you can give me your idea of something that you'd like to be on the show. Somebody that you know that wants to be on the show, I can interview them and we can talk commercial pilot stuff. So this podcast is going to have aviation content related to commercial pilots. Basically, after you've graduated 250 hours, you're looking to build hours, you're looking to get into some form of aviation job, whether it's banner towing or if you are doing skydiving or you're doing CFI to build hours, whatever it is, I'm here to support you. And if I can come up with some ideas or come up with some inspiration for you in this time, I'm definitely going to do that. And this podcast each week, I'm hoping if you're driving to the airport, you're about to go do a lesson as a CFI, or you are about to go do a jump or a tow, that you can listen to this podcast, download it the night before, and listen to it, and then, go do your thing. So what are going to be some of the things that I am going to bring to this podcast? Well, if you guys remember back when I was doing the Career Pilot Academy, I did not finish that. There's still a lot of information that I want to get to the audience, and whether I have time to do it in a video or time to do it in the podcast, I'm going to try and get that information to you. So I'm still working on that. That's still in the background. I still have information I want to help you guys with. I want to talk about how to interview, how to go into a pilot interview prepared, and some of the things that are tied up to that process. Also, let's talk about some pilot accidents. Let's talk about commercial pilots who just got their commercial pilot's license, went into the commercial world, and maybe they had a macho attitude and something happened and they crashed. So we'll go through some accidents. We'll talk about the good stuff, the bad stuff, what they could have done differently, my initial perspective, what you guys think. As a community, we can come together and be better at being pilots. And, some of us are in a position where we're carrying passengers. And so it's very important to us to study the accidents that happen in our industry so that way we don't repeat them. So those are important to me, and I want to go through some of those with you as time goes along. Real quick, I want to go ahead and recommend an audiobook for you to listen to. It's something that I've been listening to that I really enjoy. If you're a commercial pilot and you're trying to advance your career, trying to advance your education, I want to recommend listening to the Aviation Instructor's Handbook. It's really a good tool for you to learn how to get your CFI. If you're trying to advance your career there, you've got to take your FOI, which is Fundamentals of Instruction, and then you have the choice of taking your ground instructor certificate or going for your full CFI. You've got to be listening to this book. It will give you the tools that you need to pass that test. So in order to get the book for free, all you have to do is in the description below, find my Audible/trial link, go there, click on it, and it will have you sign up for a free 30-day trial. And I'm not kidding, you pay nothing. You pay absolutely nothing. You go in there, you create an account, download that book for free. Thank you to Audible for sponsoring this episode, and thank you to you guys for clicking on that link and supporting the channel. The next part of commercial aviation that I want to go over and talk about is on AOPA. They have tons of articles and many different subjects that are good reminders, good refreshers of things that we should be going through and talking about often. So whether or not you have the time to actually read them, I'm going to incorporate some of those AOP articles into the podcast. And of course, I'll give full credit to the people who wrote those articles. But I want you to have some awareness of some of the things that are being written out there and giving us a chance to go through them together. Also, living in Orlando, I'm not far from where Sun and Fun is, and we just had Sun and Fun this year. I want to see if I can find some stories, some good fun stories from Sun and Fun we'll talk about. And I know it's not really commercial aviation, but some of it is. Like, we have a flight school here that has P-51 Mustangs, and you can book a flight in one of them. It is absolutely awesome. So that's something that is on a bucket list for me, is to get in a P-51 and fly that thing around. Of course, I won't be the pilot in command. I'll just be the guy in the back with his face being plastered against the back of the cockpit as they're blasting through the sky. But we'll talk about that. Stuff like that, stories that come out of Sun and Fun. You can look forward to stuff like that. And then finally, for now, any airline news that comes out that's relatable, any hour changes, any regulation changes, anything that will pertain to you as a commercial pilot building hours that you really should know, especially if you are shooting for the airlines, I'm definitely going to go through it here and talk about that here. So that's, what this podcast is going to be about. And I really, really want to get you involved. If you have a question or you have a comment or you have something like an idea for an episode, please find a way to send it to me. You can go to any social media that I have linked to this channel and you can reach out there. You can go to the comments section of this podcast and post it there, and I'll look through them before I upload the next podcast. So get involved. I really want to continue to build this community. Crossing 10,000 subscribers is a huge milestone for me. I really do care about the aviation community. I really care about commercial pilots who have struggled, who have been stuck under this 1,500 hours or 750 hours or whatever it is, where they have not gotten an offer or have not progressed in the career that they so very, very much love. I just want to encourage you guys to keep going, enjoy the journey, because every single flight hour is part of the journey. If you guys want to reach out on Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, just look for Commercial Pilot in Command at Commercial PIC. You can also go to the website I have. I've got all the videos there. I've got lots of material there for you to just go and check out, commercialpic.com. Also have a Facebook group called Low Time Pilot Jobs. Right now there's about 35,000 people who are in that group, and if you want to get into that group and you want to ask questions, if you want to, post something about a job you're looking for, or if you are a recruiter, or if you are a company looking to hire, you can feel free to reach out to me and we can see about working together. Feel free to reach out there. All right, that will do it for this episode. Thank you so very much for tuning in, and remember to fly that airplane to the finish every single time. See you in the next one.